It's unavoidable. It's inevitable. Happens every single year. Whether you like it, whether you love it, whether you are guilty of it. Mock drafts, random Twitter accounts telling you how to scout college talent, and everyone yelling at each other because, that's how the internet works when it comes to off-season football, especially here in Rams House, Los Angeles. I am one half of this show, Tuna, my other half, the handsome half, the funny half, Sheriff Joe Bags. Hello.
Good morning.
Can you not notice that I'm trying to take you out on a date because I'm just buttering you up every intro?
Yeah, I can tell. I'm not interested, Tuna.
Yet. Not yet. One of these, I'm going to say something that's going to change your mind, but...
Yeah, you offer me season tickets.
So you're saying there is a price. Got him. There's a price for everybody. Welcome to the show. We are in pure off-season mode because we're a week removed from the Super Bowl, or almost a week, and we're sitting here like, what do we talk about in Ramsville today, except for
all the news?
Yeah, constant. It's either, oh, hey, this coach is here. What does it mean? We don't know because the Rams don't leak stuff. Oh, by the way, the 2-point conversion of Week 16 is announced as the call of the year because of a back channel phone call that was made that did not happen on the field. But I digress. Happy offseason, Joseph. How are you doing?
Caca. Doing phenomenal, man. It's kind of funny that like we're in this spot that like we're definitely off-season, action now, but like we're still. It's not dead yet. You know what I mean? They're not dead yet. We're still like, we finally got some word that even though the Rams are not Super Bowl champions, that we could be opening the season for the NFL. Crazy. I think that okay, I'll just, if you have not heard that, the rumors are swirling that the Rams and 49ers Australia game is going to be week 1. And they are saying that that's going to be either on Wednesday or Thursday of week 1, and that the Seahawks home opener will be the game that the other one. So if the Rams and Niners get Wednesday, Seahawks home opener is Thursday, or vice versa. So they could still open the season on Wednesday, which I'll be honest, absolutely despise with my entire heart. Wednesday open is absolutely atrocious. That's record day for me. So like that, my whole schedule of podcasts and stuff like that is like absolutely ruined by that. And then I also that's ridiculous. Why are we doing one game at a friggin' time, man? One game Wednesday night, one game Thursday night. Now we're gonna have one game Friday night, probably a Saturday game, and then everything on Sunday. And then what's gonna happen is the Sunday slate is gonna be a bag of bummers, and all the good action is gonna be like the one-offs and stuff like that. So then I don't know. I think that you take too much away from Sunday daytime, and that window needs to stay good. We need to have good games in the regular ass windows, man.
We are, man, you just activated my sleeper cell like I'm a Winter Soldier here. Anytime you want to talk about capitalism, you want to talk about the NFL and Roger Goodell and the product that he is watering down annually, I am all for it. I hate this. I think it's stupid. I think it's really dumb to choose it could have been Ravens, Browns. No one cares about the Browns. I still would have hated equally. Why do you put a division game internationally? I think it's very stupid. One of the 6 most important games that any team plays throughout the season, the most impactful. And if you look at week 16 last year, the most controversial at times, and you put it with all these bells and whistles and all this bullshit that the teams have to play with, you're potentially watering down the game even further. And Roger Goodell's comments a few weeks ago about, our players love playing international. They love being ambassadors. And countless players came out publicly and said, what the fuck are you talking about? That's all cool and all. It's a great experience. But for it to be a mandatory part of every single season, the countless money they spend just because the NFL wants to take over internationally, I'm all for it. I want football to be a world sport because I think it's the greatest sport in the world. But how they're going about it at the rapid speed, there's gonna be games in Asia soon. There's gonna be games in Korea. There's gonna be games in Japan. I'm all for it. But how they're going about it is watering down the product. Like you said, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They would have 7 days of NFL football if they could, because it's starting to not be about the quality on the field. It's about the ratings. Ratings keep going up. Dollar sales keep going up. That's all they care about. But yet we can't fix our referee situation or determine what a catch is. But thank goodness that we have games in Australia. That's my rant. Thank you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I think you hit a lot of really good points there. This being a divisional game in Australia is rough. That's painful. And then also, like, I'll play the devil's advocate here from the of the 49ers side of this as well. That you take this specific game, Niners at Rams, and then move it to a whole nother country. I would definitely, if I was a Niners fan right now, I'd be like, oh, they're scared of us again. Like they don't want us blowing up their stadium again. Like that's it. Like my first thought was like, oh man, we're gonna have to hear from this from Niners fans. Like that's the game. And it's not like it's our choice. We weren't like, yeah, can we please not have a sea of red at SoFi this time? Can we just have that game somewhere else? Like that obviously wasn't the case, but it's like 49ers have the fuel now to be like, oh, they don't want us blowing up their stadium, so they had to move it to a new country. It's like, dude, I hate that, man.
Stan Kroenke heard you guys, and he was like, bet I'll move it across the world so you don't have to see it anymore.
Yeah, so let's see if they go there. Let's see if they
I will say my thoughts on this, just seeing how they've handled other international games and how this is rolling out, the uncertainty it feels with some announcements.
Mm-hmm.
I think they rushed this. I think they wanted this badly. And I think that is why it's week 1, because they couldn't figure out the time difference. They couldn't figure out how to do it efficiently and effectively without fucking over either team by having it week 7 or normally prior to a bye week.
Yeah.
And that's why it's week 1 so far in advance. It's dumb. I'm going to be very loud about this all off season because I think it's very stupid. And unfortunately, I do want a Rams win, but I hope it is a complete shit show. Like I hope it is a disaster from start to finish, like production wise, pregame wise. So that way they're forced to take a step back and look at like, okay, how do we do this the right way? Because like I said, I'm all for international games, but you're watering down the product, and I hate when you do that to football. So
I'm with you in some regard on that aspect. I don't hope it's bad. I hope it goes great. I don't know. That's I get what you're saying and why you're saying that, but I do disagree. I think it's a positive for the NFL as a whole to get really good action in other areas. So I mean, if I was in Australia, I'd be like, hell yeah, dude. We got two legitimate competitors, a divisional game coming to our like I would be fired up if I was in Australia. So from that perspective as well, it's like I understand that we're losing a good game out here in the US, you know what I mean? But like I mean, that's good. It's good to give those other countries good games as well. I mean, we even saw it with Brazil. That opener was the Packers and Eagles. Like that's good action. Those are good, like good two historically relevant franchises to introduce to a new area and stuff like that. So I like it myself. I don't necessarily agree with your points on watering it down and stuff like that. I think the NFL is doing some really good things right now. Actually, I think we're headed in a positive direction. So.
I like the as you were talking about Australia getting a good game, I was thinking of all the people in the UK. They're like, dude, you've been shoveling the Jaguars at us for years. Yeah. And Australia's first game, they get a banger of a divisional rival. Like, what the hell is this? Where's our good game?
I also just realized too that my comments on my side weren't updating. So until just now, I only had Peyo's good morning message. I didn't know that anybody else was saying anything. So my bad, everybody. Well, I'm in now though. We're back updated. Good news, man. I want to know though, from the people hanging out here, man, like just give me a yes or no, like excited about this. Like, do you think this is a good thing for the Rams, for the NFL, for whatever, for you, whatever? I just want to know. I can't ignore you forever, mood, dude. But I just want to hear from other fans. Like, do you think this is awesome, or do you think this sucks?
And yeah, I'd be interested to see that. And while they pile in, I don't want to be all bitter and sad and bad news, because there is some good things that have been happening. And since the Rams have been eliminated from the 2025 season.
Name one.
This guy's MVP.
He is. That's weird.
Can I spit for a second? Alas, 17 years ago, a young Tuna. Yes, I was young at one point. Watched a Matthew Stafford get drafted from the Georgia Bulldogs, a young lad who never really understood, the hype about SEC football until after high school. But at this point, I'm about to be 18. I'm getting into the throes of like adulthood, of like really loving football and especially quarterback play. I was one of the few people that like watched Lions games almost religiously just to watch Stafford and Megatron. And I'm like, they're going to figure it out. Like they're going to figure it out at some point. You don't stay bad when you have a quarterback like Matthew Stafford. For me, having my favorite quarterback of this era play on my favorite team and then to watch him as an old man as a quarterback win an MVP, I'm cherishing every damn like moment of it because of how important it is to me in my football like fandom. Like this shit is dope. This is awesome. And we said it. I went back and looked. You and I were about the same, if not. You beat me by a few days. This is my earliest post on social media, week 5, about an MVP race. I was wrong on the Baker Mayfield one. Okay. God damn it, I was right about Matthew Stafford. God.
It's so exciting to see, man. I mean, and I think too, it's just knowing how his path has kind of gone. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just to see year 17 to finally not even just get like more into the conversation, but to actually take it after being, no higher than 8th in voting ever before, which is so interesting to look back on. And I kind of was looking through a little bit, not any deep research or anything like that, but I was looking back and it was looking at like his best seasons and who was winning MVP. And yeah, it makes total sense. It's like, like the things that he was doing is like, yeah, he did awesome. But like, that was like Tom Brady throwing 50 touchdowns and stuff. Like, it's like, okay, like whatever, like Peyton Manning and stuff like that. It was like some years in there where it was like, yeah, Stafford did awesome, but blatantly there's somebody else that was MVP, but to see it this year, I think that, like, I'll be honest, I've kind of gone back and seen a lot more stuff from May and obviously I watched everything from Stafford this year, but and not to take anything away from May, but I think it's a little ridiculous how close it was. Even going back and rewatching, it's like, yeah, sure, a couple of first place votes makes total sense. Herbert got a first place vote, so I mean, yeah, we're in there, man. Like, people definitely have their opinions and stuff like that, but I do think that it was too close. It doesn't make sense, but either way, that doesn't matter. I mean, that you pull out the old Fast and Furious quote, you know what I mean? You win by an inch or a mile. Doesn't matter. Winning's winning. You know what I mean? So he won it, and that's the only thing that is important. But I'm just kind of curious to see how the next season. He doesn't seem like the kind of person that's like, oh, well, I'm MVP. Hell yeah, time to chill. He seems like motivated by winning and doing bigger things than that. So I'm excited for this next season to say, like, to the rest of the team too, like, all right, you guys have an MVP level guy. Everybody else needs to step it the hell up now. Let's go win a friggin' bowl, man. We're at home this time. Let's go do it, man. So yeah, I'm really interested to see how it kind of transitions into to next season with him having the year that he had last year. Because holy moly, is that repeatable? That's like my main question with Stafford. Obviously, the answer is yes. It is technically repeatable, but will it happen? That's who knows. I mean, to have that same ratio, I think is a tall order. And I think it's reasonable to say that we won't see statistically the same kind of year out of Matthew Stafford, but obviously anything can happen. Maybe he's better. So, who knows?
Just a phenomenal year. We end up with 46-8. He finished the season with more touchdowns, far more touchdowns than he had sacks and any turnovers at all. Like, if you put together all his sacks, all his fumbles, all his interceptions, he had like just everything, all those combined. The sacks one is what threw me off. He had more touchdowns than all those combined, which is phenomenal. Stick that in your EPA machine and figure out what that looks like as a figure, but on a chart. But you made up a good point. Don't let this current iteration of social media and people that like to be extremely loud change the narrative on Matthew Stafford's career for his pre-LA years when no one else was watching, just because they look at a stat sheet and they're like, oh yeah, he didn't win a lot of games. He must have been a stat patter. It's like, no, you didn't watch those games. I did. you want to talk about pressing the issue because your team will never win the game unless you go and be a hero week in and week out. I can't wait for documentaries about his career when it's over, and I'm damn glad he's in LA where he can finally get his flowers because he lived through the heavyweight fights of that quarterback era, like having to play amongst Peyton Manning and Drew Brees and Tom Brady and have your numbers just suffocated down because you have the greatest of all times like playing on the same weeks as you is pretty rough.
Dude, it's crazy to think too, like back to those Detroit days of like how much he was doing. And it's crazy to think about that. Like if you take Stafford out of that Lions team from 09 to 16, you just remove him from wait, it wasn't 16, 20. So like you just take him out of that franchise for those years. They are dramatically worse, and they were terrible. So it's crazy to think about that. Like you put another quarterback in that team, and that's rough. Because I mean, you're dealing with a Hall of Fame level quarterback. If anybody else, if you would have put your normal ass guys, your Derek Carr, into the Lions, that's a bad that's like a 1-win franchise a year for multiple years in a row.
It's I love it. I love me some Matthew Stafford. We need.
That's awesome.
It's almost like we need more shirts of him.
Oh, weird. Who I'm a big fan of, by the way, Tunes.
What's up?
I think I'm very obvious about it, but I'm a big fan of Aubrey Pleasant. And okay, hold on. Before we get into that, I don't want to changes. I don't want to change subjects too quick here, because we got Roger coming in here.
Hey!
Appreciate you, by the way, man. It says I'm all for the Australia game. Pacifico's at 3:30 a.m. Yo, man, speaking to my soul right here, dude.
That is a lad right there.
That's speaking to my soul, man. I was crushing beers for the London game this year. It's 7:30 kickoff local time here. And I was like, you know what? 7:45, screw it. Just like, like, let's go, man. It was fun, man. So I'm absolutely with it. I don't know the timing of this game. Do you have any insight on when you think this game will be played? I don't even know the time difference.
Are you asking me? Dude, all right, I got one fatal flaw of mine, personality trait flaw. I'm miserable when it comes to time zones. They screw me up. I understand them. Like, don't get me wrong. Don't let this fool you. I'm not actually stupid. I'm only stupid on some days with some topics. It is time zones. Just for me to conceptualize, like when I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's all happening at the same time, but it's a different part of the day.
That was poetic.
It hurts. It hurts to understand. Like it's the same way where I understand how planes fly. My caveman brain looks at a plane flying. I'm like, that thing is all metal and really heavy, and it's just floating, and it scares me. Like
crazy. That's crazy. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's crazy. I don't know.
Anyways, officially, thank you, Roger Morales, for the $4.99. I appreciate you. If you guys are confused on what that is a super chat. That is somebody saying, here's $5. We appreciate you and what you do. There are also memberships on our channel now. We have custom emojis, things like that. I think they're like $1.99 or something. Just try to make it fun. And appreciate you guys hanging out and being here. But as you were saying, Mr. Sheriff Joe Bags, I know we've had some coaches come in. Cliff Kingsbury being one of them.
Yeah, I wish I knew what he was doing.
It's a little confusing. And then
shout out Roger, dude. You're making my freaking Friday, man. Roger's making my friggin' Friday, man. This is awesome.
He's back.
I appreciate.
He doubled up.
I appreciate the hell out of you, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, buddy.
It's absolutely phenomenal, man. Like genuinely, man. We can't say many things right now. We're working on a lot of things behind the scenes right now. We're doing a lot of different things we're working on. Okay, so things are headed your way. That's all. But to let you know, Roger, if you appreciated this season, I can't even tell you how excited I am for the next one, because we are working on things. We're having meetings and stuff like that. We're working on things on the back end on our side. Some stuff. Do have some announcements your way soon, probably middle of next month. Some really cool announcements for you guys. So just stay tuned, man. Yeah, that's an unhinged comment. First and only fans. Who knows, dude? Maybe. And Roger's now a member. Roger's
hey Roger, if you do find him as well, you can drop some of those fun little emojis that I picked out for you guys to use. Those are exciting. But yeah, back to the Ram stuff. Here we go. We have
Aubrey Pleasant.
Throw it out there. What you got? Aubrey Pleasant. If you guys have not caught on, Michael Hunter, Tennessee DB coach, is now on the Ram staff. Aubrey Pleasant is going through DC interviews right now.
Yep, he is doing interviews. He is the Rams' assistant head coach and defensive passing game coordinator. I know that a lot of people don't know that job title, apparently. That came out on Twitter this year. That people were like, what the hell is pass game coordinator? It's like, where the hell have you been, man? Like, it's like we've had this for 10 years now. But as far as Aubrey Pleasant goes, he is taking interviews. He interviewed for the Chargers DC job. They chose somebody else. He interviewed for the Raiders DC job. They chose somebody else. He interviewed for the Browns DC job. That is still technically up in the air, but we don't know what that decision is. I'm assuming, though, that they're going to choose somebody else. And I don't think that it's necessarily an Aubrey Pleasant bad thing that this is happening, that he's getting these interviews and he is not getting these jobs. So what I think, though, and this is pure just speculation on my end here, just conspiracy theories that I'm throwing out here, that he is the Rams' assistant head coach. And the Rams were, 4 yards this time? We keep on being, real close to going to moving on in the playoffs and stuff like that. But I think that it's certainly possible and realistic that he's taking these jobs with the understanding that maybe he does want them. Maybe maybe they will say something, do something, offer something that he would accept. But knowing with maybe in the back of his head that he does ultimately prefer to stay with the Rams unless something potentially happens. I know I've done it. I'm sure Tuna's done it. I'm sure many of you have done it, where you take an interview for a job, not knowing if you're going to take it or not, but just kind of seeing what the vibe is, man. I've done that plenty of times with jobs that I like, and I'll have like a good job and then go to somewhere else and just interview just to kind of feel it out and see, maybe I'm interviewing them a little bit. And maybe that's what Aubrey Pleasant's doing. But my whole point on this is that Aubrey Pleasant's not getting these jobs. I don't think that that's inherently just end a statement, a bad thing, that they're just looking at they go through the interview process and they're like, you know what, Aubrey Pleasant's not our guy. He's not it. I think it's certainly at least legitimately possible that he's saying, yeah, I think I'm good. Actually, I'm going to stay with the Rams. You know what I mean? Like and then the story comes out that they just go somebody else. That's not news to say like, oh, Aubrey Pleasant told them no. Like it's for a DC job. That's not necessarily like something that we have to know about. So for Aubrey Pleasant, I do think that he stays. I want him to stay. I hope he stays. I think he's an incredible coach. But I think that the story of him like missing out on jobs is being sold as a very negative thing, and I just don't think that that's blatantly true. It could be true. That could be a bad thing. It could be like these teams are interviewing Aubrey and they're like, oof, not it, man. Or it could not be a bad thing. It could also be a fine thing, and he just wants to stay with the Rams and win a friggin' Super Bowl this year. Sue him.
Oh, and also like you're that anticipate, and that was not anticipation, that review, the recap of it, that Aubrey Pleasant is missing out or things like that. How about other organizations like aren't really fucking good at their jobs either? Like, you mean to tell me the Browns organization knows what they're doing when they're vetting out coaches, how they settle for Todd Monken? No shot at Todd Monken. Congratulations to anybody who gets one of the only 32 jobs of its kind in the world. But for someone like Aubrey Pleasant, when you're going in, you're interviewing, you're used to the Los Angeles Rams organization, how they run things. You do an interview somewhere where it's like, it felt like they didn't know what the hell they're doing. Like, I would not take that job either. And to your point, that goes into maybe he's filling them out, but it has nothing to do with even him, good or bad. It has something to do with the organizations that are doing the interview process. The Browns, got him doing like a 10-page essay on, what his favorite temperature of day is, things like that. And so I don't blame him. I don't blame him not wanting to leave anywhere. But what I do like, tying in the new coaching hires, not what's the special teams coach's name? I forgot the top of my head. Yeah. So bringing him in, bringing in Cliff Kingsbury, even though we don't know who the OC is, I do have thoughts on that. And now bringing in Tennessee, not Tennessee Titans, but the University of Tennessee's DB coach, Michael Hunter. How I view these additions and how quickly they happened, that speaks that the Rams are like understanding where their deficiencies are, and they're attacking it aggressively. We're not in March. We're not even in March yet. We're not dilly-dallying. We're not worried about, oh, is he the right fit? Like, no, let's bring in somebody that we think is going to add a spark, whether it's going to be a change, like a Cliff Kingsbury, adding new twists to a McVay offense that people already love. And now bringing in some college culture, bringing in some college knowledge of what the new trends are, of what the new movement may be. And if you are not paying attention to anything in the draft, Tennessee has two guys that are slated to potentially go in the first round. You've got Colton Hood and Jamad McCoy. Jamad McCoy is the one that's missed all 25 with ACL tear. If anyone knows the true extent of his injury, his recovery, and how good he actually will and can be, it's that man on the screen next to Aubrey Pleasant right there. Don't be surprised if they take one of the two Tennessee guys. That tends to happen. Like, hey, I know this guy from college. I want him now. I think the Chargers were trying to do similar things. Yeah, I mean, they got Omarion Hampton. No. Where did Hampton play at? Hampton played at NC. Never mind. I'm wrong on that one. I'm thinking of somebody else. But, yeah, I just like the way the Rams are moving, intentionality and attacking some of their deficiencies from this past season.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. I mean, yeah, I'm so curious to see the decisions that are made, man. But I do think that as far as the coaching aspect goes, I mean, Aubrey Pleasant, we'll see how that shakes, But I do hope he stays, and I know that not everybody is under the same opinions about every coach. But and that's the hardest part about that is like the real coaching we don't see. We're not in meeting rooms. We're not in those closed practices where the real coaching is happening, So there's that aspect too, that like we ultimately get a pretty limited view. But I did want to mention as well, I don't know if you've have felt vibes on anything regarding potential OC stuff for the Rams. Do you have any indicators of what the Rams are even looking at doing?
Say it again. I was trying to contact Gary Combs because I still need his contact info to send him his MVP shirt.
Gary just hit up on Instagram yesterday. I'll send him a message. I'll tell him to make sure we get.
Yeah, I think that Shieldhouse will ultimately be the OC unless he takes a sneaker job somewhere else, like just sneakily, creeps off into the dead of the night. I do think Cliff Kingsbury is here to play like a support role to Shieldhouse, to support him as a first-time OC and to help McVay evolve a little bit. I think it's beneficiary. Somebody like Cliff Kingsbury, who is head coach material, who has already done his time as an OC to prove like, hey, I can do some cool things when guys aren't injured. I think he's working towards showing like, hey, I've grown since the last time I'm here. I worked with the Rams. I put my ego aside, took a step back, learned, and contributed as like not officially the OC, which in like the coaching world is pretty big. That's a tough pill to swallow for guys to like take a step back and do something like that. So a lot of props to him. But ultimately, I think Showhouse will be like the official OC, with Kingsbury being like co-OC, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm fired up for it either way, man. I think we got some really good coaches. I love our staff, though. I mean, all the way down to like, O-line coach with like Wendell, Giff, and stuff like that, like on the defensive side. Like, I think our G Money is so dope. Like, I don't know. I really like our coaches. I think we got a really good staff right now. And I don't know. I'm kind of curious too, because like it does feel, I don't know, maybe I'm looking too deep into stuff, but it does feel like there's like a shift coming where it's like we're going to get a new quarterback eventually, stuff like that, where it's like we're going to be a different team in like 4 years. We're going to be dramatically different. So I'm just kind of curious to see how that goes and how that transition goes. And like how long is McVay going to stay, and like how many eras can we go through with McVay? Like, can he take the next quarterback to a Super Bowl too? And then we're sitting here looking like, man, he took Goff, Stafford, and new guys. like that's crazy.
And Arch Manning. That's awesome. Yeah. That's cool. That's so cool.
It'd be cool if it was
back on that. I'm back on that. Let the kid let the young kid learn. Let the young bull grow.
I wish he was better.
I wish he was better last year too. A few things before we wrap up here because it is 7:30. Roger Mraz dropping the Frathu emoji. I do like that. Gary Combs, we'll reach out to you again today. Gotta get you your MVP shirt. Thank you again to Roger Mraz, Muad'Dib, some of our early contributors to the show. Appreciate you guys. It is Friday the 13th. Let's go out on that with a bang. Friday the 13th is all spooky, scary stuff, even in February. Give me your favorite Halloween movies, your spooky movies. Top ones.
Spooky movies. The 70s version of The Changeling.
No idea what it is, so I'm just gonna bash on it. That's a terrible take. Dawn of the Dead, the remake from the 2000s.
Okay.
I love zombie stuff.
Give me Wrong Turn. I actually really enjoyed those.
Wrong Turn. Which one's that one?
Oh, you haven't, oof. All right, well, you're gonna have some fun.
I got an interesting one. Evil Dead.
Okay.
Love those. Come on, Kobe. Yeah, Evil Dead. There we go.
Yeah, give me just the two of House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil Rejects. 3 from Hell can get removed from it. that ended trio ended poorly, but those first 2 are awesome.
I just watched this one recently. I think it's